Clemson's not going to be in dire straits of a quarterback. We don't presume. Now, Clemson had a great season in 2020, but as with everything in life, it's not always unicorns and rainbows. If the Tigers want to climb back up that mountain in 2021, there are at least 3 areas they need to improve. With the 2020 season now in the rearview mirror, we can now begin to look ahead to the 2021 season and the issues that need to be fixed at the Tigers are again to find their way back to the college football playoff and ultimately a national championship. Now, head coach Dabo Swinney was adamant that missing offensive coordinator Tony Elliott was not a big issue for the Tigers' Sugar Bowl loss. The fact was that the passing game coordinator and quarterback coach Brandon Streeter struggled to get into a rhythm calling plays once the Tigers went off script. Trevor Lawrence even mentioned the issues and referenced the fact that it was different in his post-game press conference, saying it was a little different. Just being on the headset as opposed to him being right there and just in communicating. But the difference it made, I really don't know. He still says they communicated well, but yeah, it's obvious it's different with him not on the sideline. Coach E, that's Tony Elliott, not being there, all those things are different. Communication-wise, we were fine, but it was definitely a little different. So the outgoing quarterback said there was a problem with communications. Now, one thing was made clear, the Tigers were not prepared for Elliott's absence. One thing that's kept Clemson in the water has been keeping a very consistent coaching staff together. And that ain't easy these days. It certainly is not easy at all. Clemson needs to be commended for doing so. However, it could be leading to some of the problems that we'll be going to be addressing that the national media hasn't dug their claws into as much. I've had a hard time digging up some facts. But there are some issues concerning, think about the aspect, most of your coaching staff's been there for a long time and plan on basically retiring there, it seems. Now, these coaches are at age where they have young children, young sons who are approaching football age. And they have nephews, and they have aunts and uncles, and all that. And Clemson has been sort of slowly allowing a little cronyism to kick into their program. And at some point, that could be fatal. One thing to give a special privilege to a coach's boy for your 85th player, your 83rd player, and you give him a uniform and he gets to tell everybody he's on the team. It's another thing altogether to put him on the football field when he ain't really qualified. Go look what happened to Mark Richt out in Miami when he tried to put his son as the quarterback's coach. It didn't take long for Miami to end that real quickly. Now, the Tigers aren't doing that sort of thing, but that could be a factor. And with the cushion they got in their situation, it'd be mighty tempting to do so. I mean, they don't have any trouble winning the ACC, and surely adding a player or a nephew's son to the lineup ain't going to make a difference against Ohio State. Surely. But they got the consistent coaching staff, and that really does help a lot. If you can't keep the same players in there like you used to, it sure is nice to have the same coaches. The trenches seem to be a weakness for Tigers. Clemson's situation in the trenches is not as dominating as they have been. At times, the Tigers were dominated at times in the trenches, not only in the Sugar Bowl. That first game against Notre Dame was not a good look for the defensive line. And Syracuse, the team that's given Clemson the most trouble in the ACC, exposed the offensive line, and the running game was a non-factor for the majority of the season. Football games are won and lost in the trenches. That's been an old saying, and it's still true. And that's one area that the Tigers must improve heading into the 2021 season. Some of the issues will be fixed through recruiting and the young players having true spring practice and all season to get stronger, but some of it is a mentality issue. There needs to be an Eric McCain, a Christian Wilkins, a Celine Gerald, Jay Guillermo who can challenge the lines of scrimmage to be better. In the secondary, Swanee raved about his secondary all preseason, stating this may have been the most talented secondary he's ever had. Well, if 2020 proved anything, it's that talent does not equal quality play. The secondary did have a few spectacular moments and breakout players, Andrew Booth, Malcolm Green, but they have more disappointments and frustrating players. The secondary was exposed at times with key players missing games for disciplinary reasons, and the lack of discipline and toughness needs to be addressed. The secondary looked scared to hit people at times, and players making business decisions rather than making plays. In fact, the play of the secondary in the Ohio State loss drew memories of the Tigers' 2015 loss to Alabama, when members of the secondary looked to have both feet out the door before the game started, and they played like it. Let's see if we can catch up with old Dabo here. He had something to say. We'll let him talk for a minute. We're trying to get an interview here with Dabo Spinney. We had some clip and having a little trouble getting it. We'll get that for you in just a minute. This is Bulldog Batting Theater. I'm General Beauregard, and we are here trying to figure out if Clemson is going to be a paper tiger or a real tiger.
And you know, we had a tough game with them last year. We beat them 3 in a row, and you know, it's they got this one. I mean, all you can do is give them credit. I mean, they earned it. They just went out and played an unbelievable game, and so I mean, both teams were motivated. Like I said, I mean, I've been doing this a long time. We had great preparation. I mean, tremendous focus and preparation. But like I said, we didn't play well. And again, getting the game and all of a sudden a couple things, you know, the momentum, and we didn't quite get it turned. We never could get it turned. And we were very just inconsistent and just didn't do some of the very basic things that you have to do to win games like this. And, you know, again, you got to give them credit for that. But, you know, we'll learn from it. We'll grow from it. This is, again, it hurts, but, you know, we had a heck of a year. We had a great year. You know, to go 10-2 in this environment that we all just navigated in 2020, in a year where, again, a lot of people didn't think we would even play, and these kids have been going 23 weeks straight. 23 weeks straight. And it's been an unbelievably committed team. And, you know, rare to see that type of discipline, you know, in sacrifice with a group of young people and all the things they had to give up. I mean, it's been, I mean, there'll be books and movies and all kind of stuff written about this year and stories told about this year. And I'm proud of our team. You know, again, I certainly wanted to win the game, and but our guys were ready to play, and we were not the better team tonight. You know, it's just the way it is. And sometimes in competition, when you get, I mean, this is playoff football. This is 4 elite teams, and you know, we got beat, and we'll grow from it. We'll get better. Our guys, we start school on Wednesday. You know, our guys are going to, you know, we'll have to give them a little time off here. Like I said, we've been going for a while, but it's going to take us, won't hurt for a while, but we'll get back at it, and We got a bunch of mid-years moving in on Sunday.